Right now this morning, cabinet showdown. Trump's picks face tough questions on Capitol Hill today. And it's going around, that upset stomach, queasy feeling. We have the latest on norovirus's surge and how to protect your family.
Well, it's dangerous, cold air with a wind chill down to minus 25. Warmer temperatures on the way. We'll talk about that in just a moment.
This is News 8 Now this morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Alexandra Carter.
And I'm Art Jarrett.
It is Tuesday, January 14th. One of those mornings where if you're heading out, you might want to start your car now. Bundle up as much as you can. It's frigid, as you say.
It's almost one of those things. Is it going to work today?
Right, yeah.
Yes.
I need to go out and start mine now for the end of the show.
Yeah, but you don't want to be stuck out there because it's going to be cold. Those numbers are actually dangerously cold. There's a cold advisory out there right now, a cold weather advisory for this very same thing as well. Minus 25, in some cases up by Green Bay, you could see up to maybe minus 30 in some cases. So please be careful out there this early morning. There's the dangerous wind chill, as you can see. And as we get into the forecast, you're looking at that cold weather, as I've mentioned, the cold weather advisory right here. You can see all the way from Wausau extending all the way down into Wisconsin Dell. We've got also Adams and, of course, Juneau mixed in that as well. And, of course, this is going to carry over until about the 9 o'clock hour in the morning. The wind chill advisory, as you get into this, that's what we have right now. You could see minus 20 to possibly minus 34 for local temperatures. And that could be quite dangerous. You could see frostbite kick in within 30 minutes of that happening. We'll also see as we go through the day, we're also looking at very cold conditions as we go through Wednesday as well, extending into some snowy conditions coming in for Wednesday evening. It's about a 20% chance, still up in the air if that's going to happen or not. Then very warm conditions, as I said, mild conditions come in for Thursday and Friday, where you're looking at least 30s and 40s in the picture. Snow's moved out, but when I come back, I'll have a better view of how this all plays out for you. So please stick around.
And if you are heading out the door this morning, you know how bitter cold it is. Your car is likely feeling it too. A local auto expert says now's the time to get your car ready for the winter if you haven't already. Kyler Klatt says these freezing temps can slow down your car's battery.
Do see a lot of customers come in with battery problems, vehicles that won't start. A lot of that can be prevented with regular safety inspections, especially like a pre-winter inspection before the cold weather to ensure you don't get stranded with a dead battery.
And don't forget those tires. Klatt says the cold snap can drop your tire pressure fast. If that warning light comes on, you might be running on low tread. And a reminder for you, you can track weather on your block by downloading the First Warn Weather app. You can find that in the App Store or on Google Play. Two big developments in the Trump transition this morning. Special counsel Jack Smith standing firm on his election interference investigation in a new report out overnight. As the president-elect cabinet's picks head to Capitol Hill, first up today is Pete Hegseth, the controversial choice for defense secretary. CBS's Jared Hill has the latest for us.
Overnight, the Department of Justice released a report on the federal investigation into President-elect Donald Trump, with special counsel Jack Smith writing, if it wasn't for Trump's imminent return to the presidency, there was enough evidence to obtain and sustain a conviction at trial. The report, a final record of the DOJ investigation into whether Trump illegally tried to overturn the results of the 2020 election. The federal government abandoned the case because of a DOJ rule not allowing the prosecution of a sitting president. Trump on social media maintained his innocence and called Smith deranged, writing he was unable to successfully prosecute him, so he ends up writing yet another report. This comes as today, Trump's choice for Secretary of Defense will be the first cabinet pick up for a Senate confirmation hearing. Monday, Pete Hegseth, an Army veteran and former Fox News host, got the support of Republican Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville.
I'm 110% behind Pete Hegseth.
But Senate Democrats have raised concerns.
There has never been a nominee for an office of such serious consequence who is so unqualified and unprepared in recent American history.
Hegseth is facing allegations of alcohol abuse, sexual misconduct with a woman in 2017, and mismanagement of funds for two veterans organizations from which he was let go. Hegseth has denied all accusations, including any claims of sexual misconduct.
The matter was fully investigated, and I was completely cleared.
While Hegseth can be confirmed without Democratic votes, Republicans only hold a slim majority.
The Department of Justice also releasing a report into the investigation of President Joe Biden's son Hunter. Special counsel David Weiss criticizing the president for pardoning his son, saying he brought charges against Hunter purely because he broke laws. Last month, President Biden pardoned his son, calling the investigation a miscarriage of justice. A deadly fire fight as wind gusts fuel the flames. At least 24 people now dead or missing as crews are battling 3 major blazes in California. Dangerous Santa Ana winds are expected to intensify today, forcing firefighters into 24-hour shifts and grounding critical air support. Red flag warnings stay in place through tomorrow night. The fires have now scorched an area larger than Paris, with more than 92,000 people still under evacuation orders. And overnight, crews rushed to contain yet another fire as first responders race to protect homes in the path of the flames.
It can be challenging at times. You don't sleep pretty much the whole 24 hours. A lot of our guys won't get too much rest because you are kind of amped up still.
And it comes as President Biden says he believes the rebuilding effort will cost tens of billions of dollars. He's asking Congress to pass more funding. A final round of Gaza hostage and ceasefire talks set to begin in just a few hours now. The White House says the deal is, quote, on the brink of being completed. Senior Israeli officials tell CBS News they have agreed to a 6-week truce and that 33 of the hostages would be released in exchange for some Palestinians that are currently held in Israeli jails.
We are close to a deal, and it can get done this week. I'm not making a promise or a prediction, but it is there for the taking, and we are going to work to make it happen.
Hamas leadership has not yet signed off on the deal. More questions than answers this morning after a Toma daycare suddenly closed last week. The questions are tied to some serious allegations. News 8 Now's Grace Monk has the latest on what parents and staff are saying.
Kids and Company Daycare closed last week after the VA ended their lease due to compliance issues. Board Chair Travis Scholes says it came down to communication.
We weren't letting the VA know, or maybe not letting the right people at the VA know is probably a more accurate way to describe it, about things like having to close early because of weather.
Scholes says the closure was a surprise.
We knew we had some things to work on as far as reporting goes, but didn't expect it would lead to an immediate termination of the lease.
And so did parent Nick Rea.
About 11:30, I got a call from the director of Kids and Company, and she said, effective immediately, we're going to have to be shutting down.
Rea says he's struggling to find a new child care provider.
We're already so stressed for daycare in the Toma area as is that I think I've called like 14 providers, and only one of them had an opening. And that opening my child doesn't qualify for.
The closure brought to light a series of violations filed with the Department of Children and Families. Former employee Hannah Mitchell says she witnessed them firsthand.
I've witnessed the children being abused. I've witnessed them being grabbed harshly by their arms or legs.
Joel says he was aware of the violations.
Action needed to be taken, not action at the level where someone needed to be fired or penalized or anything like that, but there was corrective actions for what actually took place.
But for Rea, the violations have changed the way he looks at child care.
Now we're looking out through the different daycare providers and we're like, who can we trust?
Grace Monk, News 8 Now this morning.
Scholes says Kids and Company does not plan to reopen. The La Crosse Area Chamber of Commerce members revealing their legislative priorities. Yesterday, the chamber hosted State Senator Brad Pfaff, State Representatives Tara Johnson and Jill Billings at the January forum. Legislators gave members an update on their goals and offered a preview of the upcoming session.
There's an important aspect of listening to folks. You know, we gather in the beginning and spend time just having conversations.
Billings says a large focus of the conversation was the upcoming state biennial budget. Chamber members expressed interest in issues like childcare, workforce, and taxes. Support for local businesses and attracting new ones to La Crosse were the main topics at the Area Development Corporation's 53rd annual meeting. Yesterday's gathering focused on how the community can continue to grow and thrive in the years to come.
Yeah, it's really, again, to recognize that our area and our quality of life shouldn't be taken for granted. It's, there's groups like ours and others who work every day at trying to promote and grow and make this a great place to live, work, and play.
The group's project this year are to create new manufacturing and industrial spaces that could create new jobs. The time now is 6:09. Still ahead on your morning news, a California company facing a lawsuit over its alleged role in starting one of the recent wildfires. We'll have more on the lawsuit and the company's response. And the nomination voting period for Oscars has been delayed. We'll have more and when the new voting period will start. And for now, sending you to break with something to put the good in your morning. Baby gorilla alert. Look at this thing. This baby gorilla was found in a box in the cargo hold of a Turkish Airlines flight from Nigeria to Thailand last month. He's now been named Zeytin. That means olive in Turkish. And he's now recovering at a zoo in Istanbul. Zeytin's caretakers say he's growing well and in good health. There he goes there. The zookeepers say he was very timid at first, but now he's playing and happy as you see him there. All right, well, happy for him this morning. And as you start to wake up, leaving you with a quick wake-up call. It's the only city in the world to have a distillery that you can visit while skiing down a mountain. That is Salt Lake City, Utah. Doesn't look like much snow there this morning, huh? Stay with us. Your morning consumer news is coming up.
We've done many, many renovations. We bought an old house and have made it into an up-to-date house. Whenever anything involves plumbing, the first call I make is to Maxwell White. Their technicians put together a great final product.
Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin invites you to experience the thrill of gaming like never before. With 6 locations across the state, there's something for everyone. Whether you're a slots enthusiast, a poker pro, or prefer the excitement of table games, we've got you covered. Plus, indulge in delicious dining options, live entertainment, and exclusive promotions that add even more excitement to your visit. Come join the fun at Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin.
When migraine strikes, do you question the trade-offs of treating? Ubrelvy is another option. It works fast, and most have migraine pain relief within 2 hours. You can treat it anytime, anywhere. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Don't take with strong CYP3A4 inhibitors. Get help right away for allergic reactions like trouble breathing or face, tongue, or throat swelling, which may occur hours to days after use. Common side effects include nausea and sleepiness. Migraine pain relief starts with you. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Ubrelvy.
This is Kathy. She's about to see her dentist. She's afraid. Not because of the drill, but because of the bill. A big bill. But Kathy doesn't need to be afraid, and neither do you. Thanks to affordable dental insurance from Physicians Mutual Insurance Company. It's easy to get this coverage. Don't believe me? Call or go online for all the details. You could even have this free information kit. This isn't a discount plan or preventive-only coverage. This is real dental insurance. It helps pay for over 400 procedures. That's a lot. I'm talking cleanings, fillings, crowns, bridges, root canals, even dentures. Bottom line, you'll have help paying for routine care and expensive major work. But if you want deductibles, forget it. There aren't any. No annual maximum either. Plus, you can see any dentist you want. Stop fearing the big bill. Start saving at the dentist. Call now or go to sendinfokit.com.
Physicians Mutual, Physicians Mutual.
Brad Schimmel, prosecutor, attorney general, rule of law judge. Schimmel put pedophiles behind bars, took on criminal illegals and cartels, protected kids and seniors from abuse.
Law school taught me the rights of the accused, but justice for the abused is denied all too often. I'm Brad Schimmel. On the state Supreme Court, I'll apply the law equally because everyone has the right to feel safe.
Schimmel for justice.
Here at Maxwell White, we know how valuable your time is. From issues with your hot water to slower clogged drains, our team is always on time with friendly service and solutions you can trust. Don't wait. Contact Maxwell White. Plumbing done right.
Well, good morning to you. Welcome back here as we get into your local forecast. We are holding on to conditions to be like this today. We're getting into bitter cold conditions here, minus 25, your local forecast, eventually getting into warming conditions as we go right through Thursday. I just want to show you how this all plays out here as we go into it. You're going to be looking at the possibility of snow that we had this early morning down to the south. It was possibly a ½ inch or less, getting to areas by Boswell, Prairie du Chien, Decorah, and of course now it's tracked over just east of Madison. We'll get into the wind chill, as you can see, going to the 7 o'clock hour, still holding on to that cold cold right through all the way through the morning hours and into the noon hour as well, where you're looking at 9 o'clock, you're looking at minus 16 to minus 17 from Ladysmith to Eau Claire, La Crosse minus 18, and then down to Soldiers Grove, you're looking at minus 20. So again, we're backing off of that colder air, that dangerous cold wind chill, but you can clearly see that we're holding on to minus degree temperatures going into the noon hour and beyond. So by the time we get into 3 o'clock for our highs today, minus 3 for Ladysmith, minus 4 for Eau Claire, minus 1 for La Crosse, and then down to minus 2 as you get down into Boscobel. This will continue all the way into the 5 o'clock hour, where we're back to single-digit numbers into your forecast. As far as the gusts are concerned, it's going to be gusty going into the middle portion of your afternoon. Then eventually it subsides going into your evening commute. We'll take it into tomorrow, though. Big difference. So look at these winds kicking up to 20 miles per hour, 25 miles per hour, close to 30 mile per hour winds into your forecast by the 7 o'clock hour. You're also going to be seeing, as we finish out today, you're looking at conditions as we finish out going into at least 3 o'clock, where your highs are going to be from 9 all the way to about 13 degrees for your local forecast. When I come back and give you a little view how this all plays out, you're looking at the possibility of conditions to get down into at least the next few days for warming conditions in your forecast. I'm going to give you this again. Back to you, my friend.
In your consumer news, Walmart is unveiling a subtle change to its logo, the first update in nearly 20 years. Take a look. There it is. Not much of a difference. The new design features a chunkier, bolder font inspired by founder Sam Walton's old trucker hat. You'll start seeing the updated logo, if you even notice it, on Walmart's website and app later this month. There's that one too. And Southern California Edison is facing a lawsuit this morning over its alleged role in starting one of the recent raging fires in LA. Jeremy Gurzy, whose home was destroyed in the Eaton fire, claims that SCE is responsible, an accusation the utility company denies. Local officials have yet to determine the cause of the fire, but they are investigating an electrical transmission tower as a possible source. In a statement, SCE said its review of equipment in the Eaton Canyon area shows its electrical lines are unlikely to have sparked the blaze. The nomination voting period for the 97th Oscars has been delayed again. It comes as those wildfires burn. The voting period was set to end today, but will now run through Friday. Nominations will be announced January 23rd. The 97th Academy Awards will be held on Sunday, March 2nd. Travel around the world shattered records in 2024, and overall prices keep rising. Both trends are projected to continue this year. In today's Travel Tuesday, Wendy Gillette reports on the 2025 forecast from Los Cabos, Mexico.
Hugs with established connections and endless networking to make new ones brought together the biggest names and brands for the international luxury travel market at Cannes last month. The trade show marked the largest gathering in the organization's history.
2024 was a phenomenal year in travel. We hear it from travel agents, we hear it from suppliers, we hear it from resorts, we hear it from city hotels.
Hot destinations this year include Japan, where round-trip airfares will drop close to $1,000, down 12% from last year. Travelers are also headed off the beaten path in Europe to Verona, Italy, and Milos, Greece, and booking adventure trips to Norway and Finland, according to Hopper.
More predictions for 2025 come from travel advisors and hotel leaders attending the annual Embark Immersion Conference held late last year in Los Cabos, Mexico.
The event generated $10 million in sales, looking ahead to 2025. Embark CEO Jack Ezon says warming temperatures around the world are changing travel patterns, including visits to Europe.
Many people, instead of going in the core July and August, are now choosing to go in September or October or May or June.
Traveling to shop is becoming more popular.
I'm seeing lots of folks going places specifically to buy that bag, get that item they've always wanted.
There's also an increased focus on personalized travel.
Personalization today is really a basic. So people want to be recognized, people want to get to know our colleagues, people want to know that they're being taken care of.
The luxury travel network Virtuoso sees the growth of solo cruising, and the Points Guy predicts authentic experiences and trips planned around attending events like Taylor Swift's Eras Tour last year will keep travel flying high in 2025. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
And Americans heading to several dozen countries in Europe need to be aware of a new system that'll go into effect this year. That will require you to complete a pre-travel online application. It'll cost about $7 and processing can take up to 96 hours. A similar UK system went into effect last week. We told you about that last week. That was a look at your consumer news. We'll send it over now to Art. He has an update on our forecast.
All right, Alexandra, and away we go with that. I just showed you a few things earlier. I want to get you to see the kids going to school today. You're looking at 0 degrees to start with, clear skies this early morning at 7 a.m. It's going to feel a lot colder on your skin, as you know, as all the wind chill that we've been talking about. Same thing for the afternoon, 13 degrees at 3 o'clock for your high. You're looking at sunshine across the board here, but you're also going to be seeing it's going to feel much colder on your skin. We'll carry over to Eau Claire. You're looking at -7 and breezy winds kicking into the forecast. That'll carry over into the 3 o'clock hour again for the afternoon, where it's going to feel much colder on your skin as well there. In fact, it'll be minus temperatures getting into that category. Skycam 8 you're looking at here, or CityCam 8, you're looking at snow on the ground still, but I suspect it will not last going through Thursday and Friday with temperatures warming up, getting into milder conditions where we'll see 30s and 40s in the forecast. But we will have more of that bitter cold going into tomorrow morning as well. That'll carry over with that -25-degree wind chill out there. In fact, you're also seeing the cold weather advisory that's in play right now from Wausau all the way down here. You're going to be seeing that get into areas by Juneau as well as Adams County, and that cold air lasts until at least that advisory lasts until about 9 o'clock this morning. Highs for the day, we're looking at least 9 to about 13 degrees out there. La Crosse will hit 13 degrees, Eau Claire about 10 degrees, but once again, it will feel colder on your skin under a whole lot of sunshine. We get into the sky tracker here, taking you across now. I started you at 3 o'clock there. I'm taking you to 6 o'clock now, where you're seeing mostly single digits in the forecast. Then we take it into the 9 o'clock hour, -1 for Ladysmith by then, 5 degrees for La Crosse, Eau Claire at 1 degree there, and at least 7 degrees getting into areas by Prairie du Chien. By the midnight hour, -5, getting into more minus numbers, kicking into the forecast. La Crosse is at 4 degrees. Then we get down to 5 for areas right by Prairie du Chien. But in the morning hours, as we get into the 3 o'clock, getting into at least down to about 6 o'clock in the morning here, you're looking at conditions to be -6 all the way down to at least 2 degrees for La Crosse, and -3 as you get into Prairie du Chien. You'll hold on to the 9 o'clock hour. You're looking at similar conditions, but snow starts to work in the forecast as we go from late morning into the noon hour. This continues to work in the forecast, and it's only about a 20% chance, so this may not occur for you. You're also going to be seeing this kind of widespread as we go to the 6 o'clock hour for your evening commute. You notice I showed you this again last Friday for the weekend snow, and that didn't work out too well for us, but this is also showing the same similar conditions here. You're looking at more of that snow going into the 9 o'clock hour, and we should be done. We'll carry over into the zones here, as you can see quickly. You've got sunshine abound for everybody with partly cloudy skies in the south zone. You'll also be holding on to the central zone here, more sunshine there for you. La Crosse at 13, as I mentioned. You'll also be seeing back to the north, where you're looking at possibilities of, again, sunshine to mostly sunny skies. Then we get into the next few days, carrying you over right into this colder today. Seasonal averages tomorrow, with warmer temperatures coming in from the Pacific Ocean and carrying that over to us to keep us into 30s and the 40s, with frigid temperatures returning coming back into next week.
All right, Art, thank you. Well, it's making the rounds: nausea, upset stomach, you know the rest. We'll have the latest on the norovirus surge and what you can do to keep your family safe from the nasty stomach bug that is spreading fast.
Coming up in the Blitz, hear from one of the top teams in Minnesota as they reflect on their good start to the year. Plus, the Packers also reflecting after their season comes to a close. That and more coming up next in the Blitz.
At Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics, our goal is to help you and your pet in times of need. We specialize in the gold standard for cruciate ligament repair, the TPLO.
I was worried when I found out Duke had to get knee surgery, but the process was easier than we thought.
Piper had TPLO surgery and is already running again weeks later.
Fetch made possible, one knee at a time. Contact Dr. Mark Hine at Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics for an orthopedic consultation today.
Your home, a place of comfort and safety, could be trying to tell you something. Interior cracks, sloping floors, hard to open doors and windows are all signals of foundation failure that you can't ignore. Choose American Waterworks.
No matter your level of comfort with technology, our secure website allows for worry-free transactions. Whether at your computer or in the palm of your hand, our mobile app lets you manage your account on the go. For over 120 years, Union State Bank has provided our customers and community with quality financial services. We're here for you and welcome you to bank with us. Union State Bank, where customers and community come first. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty. I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
The camper. It has been a reliable companion for your family's good times. But after years of use, it is showing some wear and tear. A broken window from an errant baseball, a couch that your dog allegedly chewed on, and an AC unit that doesn't work like it should. It's time to call Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. We have been improving your family's camper since 1970. Call us today and we will make your camper feel brand new. Jim's Truck and Trailer Coachworks. Repair, refinish, remarkable.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if Arch Supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
Get up to an extra 10% off sale prices during the New Year's sale at Home Furniture.
The Blitz. Well, we are hitting that point of the basketball season where teams are starting to separate themselves from the pack. One of those teams being the Caledonia Warrior Boys, who are sitting as the second-ranked squad in Minnesota's Class 2A. Speed, size, shooting, the Warriors, they have it all. Add in their fast-paced offense, and if you blink, they'll run you right off the court. It's nothing new for head coach Brad King, who's had plenty of great teams in the past, but this year's squad has playmakers all over the court, and it's a tall task for any opposing team.
We have 4 guys that are capable of putting the ball in their hands and probably scoring on the other team. That's kind of unique in high school basketball. Everybody's comfortable with them having the ball in their hands. Everybody's comfortable with them shooting the ball. So that's a hard thing to take away if you're the other team.
Beyond just the pure skill this team has, they've been on the court together for countless minutes, and they've built a rare connection together that goes beyond the game.
We probably started playing together like elementary, like 3rd grade. A lot of us, and like just been playing for years, like AAU, all the way through high school, so it's been really fun.
Not many people have it. I mean, I think we have the best chemistry in the section, maybe the state. Yeah, it's just really easy trusting those guys whenever they have the ball.
Now, Coach King thinks this team still has another level to reach, and they'll need it this weekend as they're set to face an unbeaten Mount Horeb team on Saturday during the Midwest Players Classic at the Lacrosse Center. Now, the Packers' stay in the postseason was short-lived as they were knocked out by the Eagles 22-10. It was a dreadful start for the Packers as they had a turnover on the opening play and found themselves down 7 less than 2 minutes into the game. The defense did all it could, but the shortcomings from the offense and special teams were just too much to overcome. As locker cleanout took place yesterday, players reflected on the past season and what's to come on 1265 Lombardi Avenue in the future.
I wouldn't necessarily say that the season was a failure. We learned a lot about some of the individuals on our team and how these players can impact the future of this building. So, not a complete failure, but like I said, just disappointing.
Life ain't over yet, so you know what I'm saying. We still got more ball to play. We just got to take this in consideration for the off season. Don't forget the feeling. Just put all that feeling into your work.
The love and culture that we developed is, it's tough to let go for sure. But when you just talk to some of those guys, you like to celebrate those moments and just, let them know that you appreciate them, appreciate their work, and that you're going to do your utmost in this offseason to, just get a little bit better.
Many anticipate change on the horizon with the questions surrounding Jair Alexander, the amount of cap space available to Brian Gutekunst, and of course, the NFL draft in 2025. And the Vikings last night falling to the Rams 27-9, finishing with a record of 14-4. Should be a couple interesting off seasons for Green Bay and Minnesota indeed. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Are you ready for college but don't know where to start? CVTC's Fast Pass on Thursday, January 9th in Eau Claire and River Falls will help you take your next step. In just 90 minutes, apply, enroll, and explore financial aid. Apply for free at the event and get entered to win a $500 scholarship. Start your future with flexible, hands-on programs that will help you get to a career you love. Register today at cvtc.edu/fastpass.
At Overhead Door Company, we repair any garage door and only install the best. Serving up to 100 miles outside of the Onalaska, Wisconsin area. When you need a door company you can trust with your life, call Overhead Door Company of the Seven Rivers region.
Everything is getting smarter. Good thing your Touchstone Energy Cooperative has the knowledge and expertise to help you make smarter work harder. Today, there are more ways than ever to make your world more energy efficient, and we can show you how. Take the next step to go electric and put the power of your co-op to work for you. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
Taco John's just married a taco with a quesadilla. Well, they're more like grilled all-white meat chicken and creamy fiesta sauce with melty, cheesy benefits. But OMG's, they're good together. The new OM Cheese Quesadilla Taco at Taco John's.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms.
With my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay.
And I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after trying a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq works differently. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling as fast as 2 weeks for some. And even at the 3-year mark, many people felt this relief. Rinvoq can stop joint damage and in PSA can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower ability to fight infections. Before treatment, test for TB and do blood work. Serious infections, blood clots, some fatal. Cancers including lymphoma and skin, serious allergic reactions, GI tears, death, heart attack, and stroke occurred. CV event risk increases in age 50 plus with a heart disease risk factor. Tell your doctor if you've had these events, infection, Hep B or C, smoked, are pregnant, or planning. Don't take if allergic or have an infection.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
Expect more from News 8 Now. Thanks for watching.
Welcome back in your morning medical news. As colder months set in, viruses spread more easily. And at Amplify Health, they say they're seeing a rise in cases of RSV, influenza, and COVID. While most of the cases are mild, respiratory illness numbers continue to climb locally and across the state and country. Experts say there are key symptoms to watch for and important signs that mean it's time to stay home.
Any of those respiratory viruses that you definitely have a fever, chills, just feeling like you're very run down, that's a good time to just lay low and rest and get lots of fluids and sleep and take care of yourself.
Right now, Amplify says it's seeing a spike in flu cases. It comes as Simmons says there's a lower vaccination rate for the virus in our area. While the vaccine does not guarantee you won't get the virus, it does weaken its symptoms. It is a nasty stomach bug that causes vomiting, diarrhea, nausea, and more. Norovirus continues to spread across the U.S., but many may not know that most household cleaners and even many hand sanitizers do not get rid of the virus. Benny Gaither has more on how we can kill norovirus and how to protect your family.
In the U.S., as of August 1st, there have been nearly 500 norovirus outbreaks. In states that report that data, there were 363 norovirus outbreaks reported by these states in that same period last seasonal year.
Basically, any place that people aggregate in close quarters, they're going to be especially at risk.
Dr. Sanjay Gupta says norovirus can survive on surfaces for long periods, and many common household cleaners and even hand sanitizers can't kill it.
They may say, for example, that they are 99.9% effective, like this does, against viruses and bacteria, but it turns out that norovirus is often in that 0.1%.
Gupta says it has to do with the virus's makeup. Its tough protein protective coat makes it harder for cleaners to penetrate. He says companies do make products that kill norovirus, but you have to check the label to see if it's included. You can also make your own.
By mixing bleach with water, 3/4 of a cup of bleach per gallon of water. Now, if you don't want to use bleach, for example, on your countertops, you can try a disinfectant that contains hydrogen peroxide instead.
Norovirus can also survive temperatures up to 145 degrees. So if you're disinfecting carpet, experts recommend steam cleaning for 5 minutes at 175 degrees. The same for laundry.
Use hot water on the longest cycle and dry at the highest heat setting.
And Dr. Gupta says remember to always wash your hands with soap and water. He says the act of scrubbing can wash away any virus. And some good news now for Western Wisconsin farmers and businesses. Federal grants are on the way to support clean energy projects. The USDA says it'll send $14 million to Wisconsin through the Inflation Reduction Act, funding 42 projects, including solar electric arrays for local businesses. The full list of projects is on our website. USDA officials say these grants will help lower energy costs and boost economic development in rural communities. A new shuttle service will link La Crosse's regional airport to the Twin Cities starting April 1st. Sun Country Airlines and the Landline Company will provide a coach service in partnership with La Crosse Regional. Sun Country Airline travelers can schedule shuttles to and from MSP online or through the airline. And La Crescent set to receive $229,000 of federal funding for railroad crossing safety improvements. According to a release from U.S. Senators Amy Klobuchar and Tina Smith, the project will assess the safety of 4 rail crossings in the city. They hope to eliminate one of the crossings and add protective devices, signals, and signs. The money comes from the federal bipartisan infrastructure law. If your morning commute takes you along Whiz 35, you'll want to hear this. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation is hosting a public meeting tonight to discuss traffic and safety concerns along the corridor. The meeting is set for 4:30 at the La Crosse Public Library. WisDOT will present its findings and proposed improvements to help ease traffic flow and enhance driver and pedestrian safety.
Top Notch Teacher is sponsored by Viterbo University and Dahl Honda.
La Crosse's South Side is where we find our latest top-notch teacher, someone whose efforts to improve her class and community don't end at 3 p.m. It is a round-the-clock job. As News Now's Ken Kozarowski reports.
Table 4 is clean.
Delane Swanson loves where she's at.
Seated.
Her 4th year at Hinchin Elementary, teaching the 4th grade.
Old enough to have some real conversations with, to really understand some things. Young enough that they're still really looking for direction and guidance.
She also loves keeping a full plate.
There you go. Perfect.
She's part of school district committees. She coaches basketball. She doesn't slow down.
You name it, I try to do it. Kind of just a go, go, go. I like to be active. I like to be moving. So if I just go home, it's boring to me.
And if there's a community event her students will be at, she'll be there too, as an extra show of support.
My whole big teaching philosophy is that wraparound. So it's not only what happens in the classroom, but kids and lives are just so much more complex than the 6 hours a day we see them here.
Goes to their neighborhoods, sees them in places where they see where they belong, and when they see her there, they know, oh my gosh, this person cares about me. And that makes the impact in the classroom even more profound.
Those kids, she says, are still getting caught up after COVID, and their families have a lot to juggle. So if she can go an extra mile to bring the most out of her class and community, she's all for it.
Any adults, positive adults, teachers going above and beyond, I think people see that, and I think kids see that, and I think it really plays into how much they buy into school and how much they can see then from themselves.
Ken Kozarowski for News 8 Now This Morning.
If you want to nominate a teacher for our monthly segment, head to news8000.com and click on the Features tab, then select Top Notch Teachers. The time now is 6:37. We'll check back in now with Art. He has a look at our morning commute.
All right, and away we go with that. We have the, again, the danger for wind chill out there. In fact, that dangerous wind chill is down to -25 in some cases this morning, similar to what we had yesterday. We have the cold weather alerts that are in play right now, a cold weather advisory. This is up by Wausau northward, and then all the way down to areas right by Juneau, as well as in Adams County there. You're also looking at the possibility of this wind to really tick up a little bit. We'll also see it even more so tomorrow, where you get up to 19 miles per hour going to the 9 o'clock hour. You can see other locations getting up into the low 20s. Eventually, as we go to the noon hour, it kind of ticks down just a little bit or so. It'll also go down a little bit more so by the 2 o'clock hour, and then by the time we get into the evening commute, it really begins to back down. We'll go into the wind chill at 8 a.m. in the morning. You can see at Arcadia, but -20 20, minus 16 for La Crosse, minus 17 for Eau Claire once you get in the 10 o'clock hour, and Ladysmith minus 15. Down to the south, you're also looking at Viroqua about minus 19, carrying over to Boswell minus 4, minus 6 in Prairie du Chien. They just had a little snow this early morning, and now once we get in the noon hour, La Crosse at minus 9, minus 11 or 8 or so once you get into Eau Claire. Current temperatures for you right now, we're looking at least minus 11 for Ladysmith, minus 8 for Eau Claire, and minus 1 for La Crosse. Feels like temperatures, though, minus 21 for La Crosse currently as we start your morning forecast. Coming up in your Buzz Report, the Dallas Cowboys head coach will not lead the team again this year. Yikes. We'll have more about that on Mike McCarthy's departure from the team and what comes next after the break. Stick around.
Winter is here, and with winter weather come accidents and mishaps. Whether you're on your way to work, walking the dog, or out on the trail, accidents can happen.
At Bygoff and Rohde, we help you get the settlement you deserve to put your life back on track.
Hey, let's try this with Ritz. Now here comes the blitz.
What?
Step up your game day with Ritz.
This is amazing, George Kittle.
Please, call me George Kittle.
I'm Mike Rowe, and this is the most honest commercial you're going to see all week.
Today, we're waterproofing a basement.
How long do you think this problem has been a problem?
Well, actually, the homeowner told us that she's lived here for 42 years, and when they first moved in, they had water issues.
Yeah.
That is like your telltale sign of like, hey, I'm having an issue, and that's when people should call.
Get a free and honest inspection with Innovative Basement Authority, a Groundworks company.
It's a textbook case. Out of sight, out of mind.
Couldn't they see the signs?
Here, look at the autopsy report. The signs are all there. A plugged vent, rust buildup, dirty flame sensor, and loose wiring. No sign of maintenance. The list goes on and on.
What about the filter?
Don't get me started on the filter.
Well, what does your gut tell you, Rook? Gotta be someone close to the victim. Someone with access. I know who our suspect is.
If you suspect something is up with your HVAC system, call G&T Heating and Air Conditioning today.
I would never forget the picture that I have. I'm the only one that's not smiling. Even though I'm with my close friends, I felt alone. I didn't feel pretty, I didn't feel confident. When I got Invisalign, I built my confidence. It was the best investment that I could do.
I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, but thanks to Skyrizi and Clearer Skin, I'm all in. With Skyrizi, I saw dramatically clearer skin, and many even achieved 100% clear skin.
Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
With Skyrizi, nothing on my skin means everything. Ask your dermatologist about Skyrizi today.
Brad Schimmel, prosecutor, attorney general, rule of law judge. Schimmel put pedophiles behind bars, took on criminal illegals and cartels, protected kids and seniors from abuse.
Law school taught me the rights of the accused, but justice for the abused is denied all too often. I'm Brad Schimmel. On the state Supreme Court, I'll apply the law equally, because everyone has the right to feel safe.
Schimmel, for justice.
When you're dealing with your own insurance company, you may think that they're on your side, but the truth is, they're not. They're only concerned about their bottom line. That's why you need to hire Bygoff and Rohde. We get results.
All right, well, welcome back. Happy Tuesday to you. We get into it here for Eau Claire. You're looking at conditions over the next several hours here from 5 all the way into at least the 7 o'clock hour. You're looking at numbers holding on to about 7 a.m. minus 5 with sunshine on the way for you through the day. We'll also see as we kick into La Crosse going into the 7 o'clock hour, you're looking at 0 degrees for kids going to school. So don't forget to bundle them up. Very cold out there indeed. That snow chance is subsided. We'll also see as you go to the kids going to school today, they're at 0 degrees for the 7 o'clock hour. By the afternoon, 3 o'clock, you're looking at sunshine and, of course, 13 degrees for your high. For the morning going into Eau Claire, you're looking at least mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies out there, holding on to minus 7, getting to 5 degrees for your high today under breezy conditions as well. You get into areas by Menominee, you're looking at that snow on the ground right now. Some of it kicked off to the side, but you're looking at minus 5, feels like minus 19 currently. City Cam 8 looking right pretty snowy out there, or at least it was. In fact, that snow is going to get out of the way by the time we get into Thursday and Friday. Milder conditions on the way with 30s and 40s on the way. Bitter cold conditions will last into tomorrow morning, though. Then we get into seasonal average temperatures for your highs for tomorrow morning or afternoon. Wausau all the way down to areas right by getting to Volk Field, extending all the way down to Wisconsin Dells. You're holding on to that weather advisory there. That is for the cold air and the wind chills that are out there. Highs for the day, at least 9 to about 13 to 14 degrees under sunny skies expected today. We'll get into all the way to the 7 o'clock going into the 10 o'clock hour. Single-digit numbers into the forecast. By the time we get in the 1 o'clock hour, still holding on to single-digit numbers for your forecast. Then we get to the highs for the day, as I mentioned before, 9 degrees in areas right by Ladysmith, all the way down to at least 13 degrees by Boscobel. La Crosse at 13. In fact, as you go right into Eau Claire there, about maybe around 10 degrees. Holding on to the afternoon and into the evening hours, going right into the 6 o'clock hour. You're back to single-digit numbers with the exception of Boscobel and Prairie du Chien. Then we get into the 9 o'clock hour. Even more negative numbers start to work into the forecast. 5 degrees for La Crosse as you're finishing your night. Going into the midnight hour, pretty much everybody's in single-digit numbers and more of those minus numbers carrying over. Then we take it all the way into at least 6 o'clock in the morning for you. You're starting the same conditions like we did before. There'll be a wind chill associated with that with breezy and gusty conditions. But this time, snow's in the forecast. About a 20% chance moving in. Likely it may not occur, but you're going to be seeing this kind of working, showing widespread snow into the forecast as the system comes in and brings this little short wave into our forecast and we finish out. There's a look at the short wave right there, and that continues through the forecast as we go right through Wednesday. Thursday and Friday, another system starts to come in from the west, and that brings in more warmer moisture into the forecast, and that's why we get into those 30s and, of course, those 40s for the next few days to go. All right, so as we get into the next few days, we're looking at cold conditions on the forecast. Mild for Thursday, Friday. Then we have snow coming in for Saturday. It's a 30% chance, likely, but then frigid temperatures follow all the way into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. Be safe out there. Have a great day.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy will not return this year after failing to lead the team into the playoffs. McCarthy, who joined in 2020, led the Cowboys to 3 straight 12-win seasons but struggled in the postseason. With just 1 win, team owner Jerry Jones says the decision to part ways was mutual at the end of McCarthy's contract. For the first time in their 40-year history, the Italian design duo Dolce & Gabbana showcasing its work in Paris. The showcase features 200 original creations in the French capital's iconic Grand Palais exhibition hall. The exhibit will run till spring.
I'll sleep with my door open, and the day that you find it closed is the day it's already happened.
Tilda Swinton and Julianne Moore are old friends who reunite over a tough topic, a terminally ill person ending her life in The Room Next Door. The 2 Oscar-winning actresses star in the first English-language film from yet another Oscar winner, filmmaker Pedro Almodovar.
Welcome to my paradise. Let me go. Don't call me a friend.
Japanese boy group Psychic Fever says they hope to perform their hip-hop and R&B infused tunes on a world tour as they prepare to kick off a series of concerts in the U.S. next month. Their latest single, the disco-inspired Paradise, came out last week. And before we head to break, it's time to look at today's Look Who's 8.
All right, how about Ron? He's turning 80 years old today. He loves to hunt and watch the Brewers and listen to polka music.
All right, happy birthday, Ron. And if you know a special someone turning 8 weeks, 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80, or 88, we'd love to feature them.
That's right. Just upload their photo to our website, news8000.com, and look at the Submit Pictures button under the Home tab on our website.
Stay with us. We have everything you need to know in 5 minutes or less. Your Morning News Now is coming up next.
Coming up on CBS Mornings, countless people have lost everything, and you know everything in these devastating wildfires in California. But the question now is, what's next? How do you start? Where to begin? We're taking a look at how navigating insurance could be a huge issue. We have an expert with important steps that can be taken immediately to get desperately needed compensation. Also, our 3 Meal series is back because you asked for it, with Vlad visiting President Biden's home state of Delaware. Vlad shared meals and spoke with people about the president's 50 years in public office and his legacy. And entrepreneur and actor Aisha Curry will be here in the studio today to talk about her publishing label. This girl does everything, and it's got a debut novel, and guess what? She's going to bring the author. Looking forward to talking to them both. We'll see you guys 7 o'clock straight out.
We're an implant-focused practice. I think the advantage of a father-daughter practice is, I've been at this for 30 years now. I learned things that worked well and things that didn't work so well.
And it was fun to be able to just jump in and kind of complement that. I feel like it made both of us stronger.
You don't expect it when you walk into a dental office. You don't expect the family aspect, but when you walk into our doors, we're going to give you that.
If you think you have a full mouth of challenges, come see us. Come down for a free consultation.
Dreaming of a career but worried about time and cost? At CVTC, we make it easy. With low tuition costs and a wide variety of programs to choose from, we'll get you job ready in just 1 to 2 years. You'll graduate with minimal debt and find a career you love with competitive starting salaries. Dive into your future today with affordable, fast, and rewarding programs at CVTC. Visit cvtc.edu to learn more.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun they're having, it's easy to take for granted how they warm up, by the fire, or simply adjusting their thermostat. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Some of us need to decide whether to heat or to eat, or to further neglect our basic survival needs. We are working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans, all struggling to pay record heating bills. These dangerous temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for us, they can be deadly. If you are struggling to decide if you can put food on the table or heat your home, please reach out for a hand up. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
An epic weekend of ice fishing along the Mississippi River in Prairie du Chien, Wisconsin at the 75th Annual Prairie du Chien Ice Fishery, January 30th through February 2nd. A tradition that started in 1950, the Prairie du Chien Ice Fishery is celebrating a milestone year with live music, great food, a ton of fun, and a chance to win prizes all weekend long. Learn more and register for the 75th Annual Prairie du Chien Ice Fishery at prairieduchien.org.
What is a hero? Not the kind from comic books and movies saving the day. We're talking about everyday heroes, those with a special kind of courage or ability, those saving the day, one person at a time. News 8 Now wants to find those heroes and thank them for bettering our community. Go to news8000.com, click on Features, then Hometown Heroes to nominate someone you feel is truly a hometown hero. See the stories you missed or watch them again on our YouTube page. Or find us at news8000.com.
Welcome back. It's 6:51. Time for your morning news now. Special counsel Jack Smith, 130-page report on former President Trump is now with Congress. The report details Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election, including pressuring officials and planning to use alternate electors. While no new indictments were filed, Trump is firing back, calling the findings fake and criticizing Smith on social media. Senate confirmation hearings for President-elect Trump's cabinet picks will start today. Former Fox News host Pete Hegseth, Trump's choice for Secretary of Defense, will face questions on workplace behavior. Former Representative Doug Collins, nominated for Veterans Affairs, and former Governor Doug Burgum, tapped for Interior, will also be questioned today. Los Angeles County bracing for more intense winds. Officials fear they could spark new wildfires and hamper efforts to put out those that have been raging for close to a week now. President Biden was briefed on the federal response to the deadly and destructive infernos, which have burned thousands of structures around LA. And more questions and answers this morning after the abrupt closure of Kids Company Daycare in Toma last week, leaving several families scrambling to find childcare. The daycare shut down after the VA ended its lease, citing compliance issues. The closure also bringing attention several violations filed with the Department of Children and Families over the past 3 years. The board chair of Kids and Company says he was aware of those violations, but didn't take any action until now.
They have found that the version of events was somewhere in between what was being alleged and what was actually happening. Action needed to be taken. Not action at the level where someone needed to be fired.
Schultz said the violations had nothing to do with the closure and they don't plan on reopening. And if your morning commute takes you along Whiz 35, you'll want to hear about this. The Wisconsin Department of Transportation hosting a public meeting tonight to discuss traffic and safety concerns along the corridor. It's set for 4:30 at the La Crosse Public Library. Viruses are spreading this time of year. At Amplify Health, they're seeing a rise in cases of RSV, influenza, and COVID. While most cases are mild, respiratory illness numbers continue to climb across the nation. Experts say there are key symptoms to watch for and important signs that you should stay home.
Any of those respiratory viruses that you definitely have a fever, chills, just feeling like you're very run down, that's a good time to just lay low and rest and get lots of fluids and sleep and take care of yourself.
Right now, Amplify is seeing a spike in flu. It comes, as Simmons says, there's lower vaccination rate in the area. And if you're heading out the door, you know how bitter cold it is. Your car is likely feeling it too. A local auto expert says now's the time to get your car ready for the winter if you haven't already. Kyler Klatt says these freezing temps can slow down your battery, potentially leaving you stranded.
You see a lot of customers come in with battery problems, vehicles that won't start. A lot of that can be prevented with regular safety inspections, especially like a pre-winter inspection before the cold weather to ensure you don't get stranded with a dead battery.
And he says pay attention to your tires. If the tire light comes on, it could be a sign of low tread, which happens during the frigid cold as well.
And that cold weather is here right now, and it continues to hold on. There is a cold weather advisory there brushing our county. You can see it on the right there. In fact, it could cause some wind chill that will drop down to like minus 25 possibly, and of course bring frostbite within 30 minutes of being exposed out there. So please be careful. So we're cold today, back to seasonal average tomorrow. Thursday and Friday, we're above seasonal average, getting into the 30s and the 40s. Then some snow comes in possibly for Saturday, is a 30% chance, followed by frigid air to continue to begin next week all the way into Monday and Tuesday.
All right, thank you, Art. Well, today is National Dress Up Your Pet Day. Hopefully you got a warm costume for them. If you've never dressed your pet up before, start with something simple like a bandana or bow, they say, and see how they like it. Just be sure not to restrict their movement or breathing. For people with pets who love getting dolled up, why not go all out and match with them? And you can share your photos on social media with the hashtag National Dress Up Your Pet Day.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that one.
You know, dress up the cat.
I have tried before, but she is not about that life. She tries to get that costume off immediately.
Oh, that's Eeyore right
Yeah, notice
there.
how there are no cats in this video.
Yeah,
it's all dogs, huh? They're more keen to try out different things. Well, thank you for starting your morning with us. We'll see you back here at noon. Until then, enjoy your Tuesday.